Hey everyone, welcome to Little Universe Stories. Have you ever been driving down the road and your phone suddenly warns you that there is an emergency vehicle ahead, only for an ambulance to zoom past 5 seconds later? It feels like your GPS is reading the future. Today we are doing a deep dive into the technology behind these warnings. We'll look at how Waze uses live automated data feeds to track moving vehicles, how it knows which lanes are affected, and how it handles temporary hazards on the map. Let's get into it. To understand how cool this system is, we first have to look at the core problem of map tracking. Standard digital maps are built for things that stay put. When Waze was first created, it was designed entirely around static hazard pins dropped at fixed coordinates. But a rushing ambulance is a fast-moving target. Let's look at why standard map rules had to be thrown out the window to make this work. Okay, so think about how you normally use Waze. If you pass a pothole, a speed trap, or road debris, it stays in one place. Drivers behind you can easily vote to verify if that is still there, but an ambulance moves quickly through traffic. It cannot stay tied to a static coordinate pin. If a regular driver tries to manually report a moving ambulance, that report becomes completely outdated within seconds. That is why manual crowdsourced buttons simply do not work for dynamic moving targets. So how does Waze actually do it? It bypasses the driver entirely. Modern ambulances are equipped with a cellular transporter called the HAAS Safety Cloud. The second the driver flips on the physical emergency switch in the cab to activate the flashing lights and sirens, the transponder powers up. It constantly broadcasts its coordinates to the cloud, and Waze takes that live data feed to draw a moving virtual geofence, or a safety bubble, right onto the map. If your driving route intersects with that moving bubble, Waze triggers a predictive voice warning up to 30 seconds before you ever see the flashing lights. So if you were driving near that ambulance, you probably noticed that the warning lit up both sides of the street on your screen. This is a deliberate safety feature. On city streets, an ambulance frequently has to cross over the double yellow lines onto oncoming lanes to bypass blocked traffic quick. Plus, siren acoustics bounce off buildings, making it hard to hear when the sound is coming from. Alerting both directions ensures that every driver in the immediate area looks up, checks their mirrors, and is ready to yield. Okay, so now that we know how city streets work, what happens when the environment changes? On a high-speed interstate, traffic behaves differently, and emergency crews operate under a completely separate set of rules. Let's look at how Waze handles major highway boundaries and how it keeps the map clean when ambulances are off duty. On city streets, there is no physical driver. On upcoming traffic, upcoming traffic is an immediate contact with a emergency vehicle. Waze uses a circular warning bubble to alert both sides. But on a freeway, the lanes are physically separated by wide grass medians or heavy concrete jersey barriers. An ambulance eastward cannot cross over to the westward side, so upcoming traffic is completely safe. To prevent massive highway backups from panic braking, Waze switches to a directional oval geofence that only alerts drivers heading in the same direction as the ambulance. To keep drivers from getting alert failures, we must never show a warning when there is no emergency. Paramedics spend most of the day driving without sirens, returning to base or grabbing lunch. The transporter hardware is spliced directly to the vehicle's cockpit light controller. Lights off means that the unit is dead. When the sirens are turned off, the transporter instantly stops broadcasting, and the vehicle behaves like a completely normal car to Waze's servers, generating 0 false alarms. Police cars can actually navigate Waze in 2 completely different systems at the same time. If a police officer turns on their light bar to fly to an emergency, they use the exact same automated transporter as an ambulance, triggering a moving emergency vehicle ahead warning. But if an officer is sitting on the median running a radar speed trap with the lights off, that transporter is dead. That police reported ahead alert you see is actually crowdsourced by the other drivers manually tapping their screens. What happens if you pass an emergency vehicle that is parked on the shoulder with its lights off? There's no automated transporter feed running, but we still want to keep the emergency crew safe. To report it, you tap the yellow report icon on the screen, select the orange hazard menu, choose the shoulder option, and tap car on shoulder. When you submit this, the drivers behind you will hear a voice alert warning them that there is a vehicle stopped on the shoulder ahead so that they can slow down and move over. Have you ever noticed that Waze sometimes asks you if an alert is still there, and other times it just gives you a close button? It comes down to whether a hazard is temporary or permanent. Temporary hazards like potholes, police traps, or stopped cars use active voting buttons to keep coordinates fresh. But permanent infrastructure like sharp curves, speed bumps, or railroad crossings is coded directly to the map's geometry. They will never move. So Waze only gives you a simple close button to dismiss the banner safely. Now let's look at how Waze classifies temporary lane hazards so that you know exactly how to react. A roadkill report flags a biological hazard on the road. The Waze speaker voice will politely announce that there is an object on the road ahead. This warning gives you the time to change lanes early and smoothly, preventing a dangerous split-second panic severe at highway speeds, which is a leading cause to rollover crashes. Even though you tap 2 completely different buttons to report roadkill versus structural debris, the automated voice simplifies the audio for the driver behind you by announcing both as an object on road ahead. Waze does this intentionally to reduce driver distraction, allowing your brain to instantly process your need for a lane change without getting bogged down in the details. It also keeps the audio clean and family-friendly to passengers over the car speakers, while still preserving the unique visual icons on the map display itself, so that you get the best of both worlds. If you have ever passed a stretch of highway with a broken paper box and a bucket sitting right next to each other, you might wonder why Waze only says object on road ahead once instead of twice. This is due to a feature called alert merging. Waze's algorithm recognizes when hazards are within a few hundred feet from each other and groups them into one single event. This prevents audio overlap, where the voice wouldn't be able to keep up with your driving speed. More importantly, it avoids driver panic. By giving you one clear timely warning, Waze ensures your eyes stay off the phone and on the windshield, giving you plenty of time to scan the lanes and spot both objects safely. So if Waze merges a box and a bucket, why does it turn around and say police ahead twice on the exact same stretch of the highway? It comes down to direction and strategy. When a cop sits in the center median, drivers from both sides of the freeway report them. Waze treats these as 2 completely separate directional alerts so that you don't get caught off guard when an officer switches directions. Additionally, police often set up back-to-back speed traps just a quarter-mile apart to catch drivers who accelerate too quickly after passing the first car. Because they are independent, active targets, Waze refuses to group them together, ensuring you get a fresh warning for every single radar gun on the road. Okay, so it's like one side of the side going west gets an alert, and the side going east also gets an alert. That's why there are two. Okay. Next D. Now let's take a look at the complete breakdown of how data actually enters and behaves inside Waze. The entire app relies on three distinct pillars. First, we have the non-permanent choices. These are your standard crowdsourced alerts that drivers manually report, covering things like traffic jams, police traps, accidents, construction, and hazards like roadkill or ice. Because these situations change by the minute, Waze relies heavily on an aggressive still there or not there voting loop to automatically scrub the map clean when things clear up. If someone says not there. Like, it removes it when someone says not there. Second are emergency calls, which represent high priority public safety metrics. These alerts like active moving ambulances, sudden road closures, roadside help requests, high risk crash zones, and crisis evacuation alerts are fed to Waze via official digital transponders and state data feeds. Because this represents verified ground truth, the app completely locks out public voting, and you can't vote an ambulance off the map. So the interface only offers a simple close button to clear your screen view. Finally, we have permanent road structure. These features are permanently baked directly onto the map's geometry by local data partners and dedicated Waze map editors. We are talking about concrete infrastructure like striped curves, speed bumps, and railroad crossings, roundabouts, toll plazas, school zones, and fixed speed cameras. Because a set of train tracks or a speed bump isn't going to suddenly pack up and drive away, Waze never asks if it's still there, giving you a permanent safety heads up with a simple close button to clear the alert banner. To end the video, 1. The ultimate safety mashup. Waze keeps us safe by combining live automotive hardware transponders with the real-time eyes of millions of everyday drivers. 2. Knowledge is power. Understanding how the app works helps you immediately how to react, whether you need to smoothly change lanes for an object or gently slow down for black ice. 3. Be a good map citizen. When Waze pops up those still there or not there prompts, remember that taking a split second to vote directly helps keep the road clear and safe for the drivers right behind you. 4. Civic data integration. Your real-time reports bridge the gap between local infrastructure and automated safety feeds. 5. The takeaway. Technology and human crowdsourcing work together to build a predictive network that handles everything from high-speed ambulances to permanent road infrastructure. Whether it's a temporary road object, an ice-on-road hazard, or a moving ambulance, you know exactly how the data got there. Waze is a massive mix of live automated hardware and millions of drivers working together to keep our roads safe. Let me know in the comments if a Waze Safely Alert has ever saved you from an accident. Hit that subscribe button and drive out to the road and see if Waze keeps you safe.